Hi everybody and big welcome to cEDH TV, me, Pontus and Rhetoric, joined by BAER!
Hello everybody, thank you for having me again. I'm happy to be here. We're CLAYMORE and you can find me on Twitch as well. I do streaming twice a week and we do cEDH streaming for beginners or people who want to try cEDH for the first time. So very happy to be here again. Thank you so much.
And if it's annoying to look at that thing, there's a link in the description below of the video.
Today I'm bringing back my favorite meme tier cEDH deck, Heliod. It's focused on casting Heliod, flipping them, and then just casting wheels to cheat a bunch of mana costs. It's a really fun deck. Not the greatest, but it's really fun.
Me, I'm playing Jeskai, Narset, Enlightened Exile. I kind of like the girl. She's a fun commander that can either reanimate your own Underworld Breach or steal someone else's Underworld Breach. I've added the Wandering, and we also have the package of Spellseeker, Ephemerate, Final Fortune into Underworld Breach as well.
Me, I'm playing one of my favorite decks. That's Alena and Thrasios. So this is a teamer storm deck, bro storm you can say, and just generating lots of different ways of getting infinite mana and smashing over if we need to. And thanks everybody for the comments about it last time I played this.
Today I'm playing again Bluefarm. I'm playing Timna Crom with a little bit of a twist. I added some things, a little bit more board wipes, and as you can see, a little bit of copy effects with Phantasmal Image and Correction Metamorph. Watching some videos and analyzing, and it seems to be doing pretty well. So I wanted to test them, as well as some board wipes, because I've seen in my meta here with amongst my friends, creature decks are starting to come up a lot more. So I wanted to have something in hand for those occasions. Other than that, it's just a regular Bluefarm win with breach lines and Demonic Consultation with Thrasios Oracle. There's enough mana to get going. Maybe turn 2 Timna, Uncounterable Timna with Cavern of Souls. Cavern, Manavolt, Arcane, turn 1, then turn 2, Scrubland, and then Timna. But then after that, there's really nothing else to go for. I have a little bit of interaction, a board wipe, but I don't think I necessarily want to keep this one, this first hand, so I'm going to go to the next 7th. Maybe the lack of colored lands, but Ancient Tomb would give us Arcane, which would give us Mystic Remora, and then we can try to go from there. So this looks safe. I think Mystic Remora turn 1 going on the play. I think it's worth keeping. Ancient Tomb would allow me to keep it up for at least 2 more turns, and then I'm just gonna hope for additional land drops. So yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this one and go for it.
So this hand is keepable, I guess, but I still honestly don't like it. I think we can do better. Ancient Tomb is good, but that's really it. Like, I don't have anything in this hand that I'm excited about. So this is first 7, so I think it's an obvious mulligan. This time we have a Phantasmal Image, which could be good. We have a Ponder to dig forward and try to find something here. Muddle for Breach, but Muddle into Breach is very slow. I'd rather have some faster acceleration or some form of better opener. Like, I don't want to sit and just hope Phantasmal Image is gonna turn into something good here. So I think we're gonna go down to 6, actually. I don't enjoy going too low. We have a Serum Vision, and then we have a Dreadhorde Arcanist, which means that we could kinda develop some value, potentially, and that will kinda get into play somewhere down the line. We could go lower. This hand is not explosive, this hand is not busted. I kinda like Dreadhorde Arcanist and I kinda wanna utilize it a bit. I don't get to play it much with it. Final Fortune is great. It's not good in your opening hand, but it's a good card. If we get to a longer game, like if we sit to develop, eventually it will be great to have it in the hand. So I actually think we are going to bottom this basic island and keep the 6 and hope that Serum Visions and Dreadhorde Arcanist will work the game for us.
Let's take our first 7. So I like this hand. The only problem is we're gambling, literally gambling with Gamble, because if we can get Mana Crypt, we might have something here. But we have so many green pips that I think we need to go deeper into the can. And trust me, every time I've tried to do this and I've had Ponder or something like that, I've hoped that I'd pull like another land or something like that, and it just doesn't happen. So we're gonna mulligan. Okay, this is slightly better. We have Misty Rainforest and Chromox, so we could get Thrasios out a little faster. We also have Nibble Obstructionist and some other items. So it's a couple more goods, but not enough speed that we might need, other than just slamming down Thrasios on turn 1 and sitting back. Not much we can do otherwise. So we're going to go ahead and mulligan once again, go down to 6. This third hand is better, I just say with some hesitation. We do have pieces of interaction. We have Great Guardian for later. We've got some speed because of Mox Diamond and another land, so we could either put out Bop, hold up some interaction, especially because Bluefarm likes to go very fast, whereas the other decks are more control, a little bit slower, so I think we have to worry a bit about that. So what I'm going to do is bottom Great Oak Guardian for now, because I need this interaction just in case, because I don't really have a line to get out something else interesting. You know, we need something else in addition to Great Oak Guardian to make this work. And we need a lot of mana for Great Oak Guardian to come down with Alena as well. So as I talk through that, like I'm tempted to keep it, but I think that it's more important probably to hold up interaction, because hopefully later on we'll have a bit more mana so that we can pay for that Pact of Negation should we ever get to that point. All right, go ahead, Pontus.
Let's draw Strong 7. This is great. This is everything we want in a hand, except for land. We have the Chromox to shore that up. But like if you get land here, it's so great. And otherwise it's just good. And good is good. Let's keep a bunch of mana and see where this goes. There's not a lot of stacks, so I expect this to actually probably maybe even work for me. Let's go.
Okay, let's begin. I'm gonna draw 4 turn because that is allowed. Then I'm gonna start with my Ancient Tomb. With Ancient Tomb, I'm gonna tap that for 2 and take 2 damage off of it, and we'll use that to play this Arcane Signet. And then with my Arcane Signet, I'm gonna tap that for a blue. And here comes favorite fish, Mystic Remora. And then I'll move to my end step and pass a turn.
Draw a card for the turn. We're gonna do this Triumph land tapped, not feeding the fish, and passing the turn.
Draw a card for turn. Time for turn will be Mana Confluence. I will cast Mox Diamond, not paying for fish, discarding Training Center. Then I will tap Mox Diamond for green and cast a Birds of Paradise. I have 3 cards in hand. I'll pass the turn.
Take my turn. So here we're in kind of a bind. As you can see, I can cast 4 cards into this fish, and that's not optimal, but it might actually be. So the funny thing here is that there's 2 ways to see this. Either we just slow play and try to starve the fish, which, if the land, which I'm very happy about drawing, was white source, would actually be kind of viable, because we could just like keep up Enlightened Tutor. But in this case, not feeding fish kind of just means doing nothing, just going to land go. And what we can do next turn is that if we play out our whole hand, we can cast and flip Heliod, and then we have commanders for Windfall in hand if we get them to draw 3 cards. They do have the mana to pay for fish, but if they draw 5 cards in cycle, they might not do it. But I actually think that I'm going to do the greedy play, feeding fish, because that's what I usually do. But I do think it's correct, because I do get the turn 2 Heliod flip, and I do have like actual outs for it in hand. Let's see how punished we get. Land for turn will be a Cephalic Colosseum. I will cast a Chromox, not paying for fish. Imprinting a Enlightened Tutor. I will tap it to cast a Sol Ring, not paying for fish.
I do have a respawn for Sol Ring. I would like to pay 2 life and show a Mental Misstep.
Boring. Now you get to draw 2 cards less. You're welcome. Pass turn.
Upkeep Mystic Remora. I'm gonna pay for Mystic. So let's add a counter here. I'm gonna pay with my Ancient Tomb, taking 2 more damage, and then I'll draw for turn. Flooded Strand as my land for turn. Just keep my fish up, my land as it is for now, and then move to end step.
Untap and draw a card. You could have been there earlier, I think. Bloodstained Mire. Sacrifice the Bloodstained Mire. Finding a Tundra. And I'm gonna cast the Red Horde Arcanist. And then I will pass the turn.
Take my turn. All right. We will tap Birds of Paradise and Mox Diamond to cast Thrasios. And this will be a fast turn because I'm going to Passios after that.
Go to my turn. Tap 2 to cast a Grim Monolith, not paying for fish. And then I'm passing the turn.
Upkeep, it's gonna go to 2. I will still pay with Ancient Tomb, taking 2 damage on that. Draw for turn. I'm gonna play Arid Mesa as land for turn. And then I think I'm gonna go fetch for both lands at the same time, if that is okay with everybody. With this, I'm going to tap Volcanic Island for 1. I'm going to cast a Sol Ring, and then use the white from Tundra, a black from Arcane Signet, and Sol Ring. I'll be casting a Tymna. After that, I'll pass the turn.
Untap and draw a card. Play Marsh Flats. Sacrifice the Marsh Flats, finding a Plateau. Pontus has been feeding the fish a lot, so I think it's okay if I feed it a tiny bit too. I wanna cast Serum Vision. Can't pay for fish. I'm gonna draw a card, and then scry 2. Move this one to the bottom of the library, and I think we're gonna keep this one on top of the library. I'm gonna go to combat. I really dislike that fish. Dreadhorde Arcanist is punching at the only one who can't block, Pontus. And when Dreadhorde Arcanist attacks, I can cast these Serum Visions from my graveyard.
No blocks, take 1.
And fish can draw a card from the Serum Vision. So I will draw a card. And then scry 2. Holy moly. This is good. We have Mystic Remora and Dockside on top of the library. There are a bunch of artifacts in play actually. We have a Gamble in hand and Final Four. We're not far away from winning this game. We also have Twin Flame in hand, which means that we just can use Gamble to find Dual Caster Mage, and with the mana from Dockside we should be able to cast everything here on like a future turn. But the question is, I think what we're gonna do is put both back but Dockside on top. The plan is to use Gamble, or well, next turn we're gonna draw into Dockside, cast Gamble. If Gamble is countered, we still have Mystic Remora, which will be a great backup follow-up on top of the library. On the other hand, we also have Dreadhorde Arcanist to basically recast the Gamble again from the grave, if we need to. But we're gonna keep both, putting Mystic Remora there and then Dockside on top of that. And then I pass the turn.
Draw a card for turn.
Oh, this sucks. I am not
Drawing any lands, but I have so much interaction. I'm not super worried about it. Now, BAER is probably drawing a bunch of cards, so this counter war could be really terrible, but it just sucks. That's all I want to say. It sucks. This is kind of my backup plan. I have to sit back and just wait, and I have no way to draw cards. So yeah, just wanted to say I'm a little sad, but I think it'll all work out. All right, nothing else to do. Pass turn.
That doesn't sound one bit fishy.
Take my turn. I'm sad of knowing what could have been. I am tapping my Grim Monolith to cast a Arcane Signet, not paying for fish. Then I'll use my floating mana to tap Arcane Signets and tap 3 more to cast my commander, Heliod. Heliod resolves, and I'll pass the turn.
All right, time to take my turn. I will untap, get a 3rd counter on Mystic Remora. I think Mystic Remora has done great, so I'm gonna let the Remora go this time. Then I'm gonna draw for turn. I'm gonna cast a Green Monolith. Really hope nobody brings out a Dockside, because there's a lot of things going on here. After that, I'm gonna tap for red and for blue in my Green Monolith to cast a Crumb Plateau. That's my land for turn. I'm gonna send this actually at Rhetoric, and I'm gonna attack with Tymna at Mons.
So this is a great card draw engine. However, I think I want to be responsible and take it for the team. I'm gonna cast Fairy Mastermind before blockers.
I'm fine with Fairy Mastermind.
I will announce Fairy Mastermind to block and kill Tymna, or trade with Tymna.
Yeah, well, that makes me sad. I wanted more cards because I'm greedy, but no effects there. And after casting Fellwar Stone, I think I am ready to move to my end step and pass the turn.
Untap and draw a card. Play Volcanic Island. You mentioned Dockside Extortionist, so here he comes! Dockside ETB. The ETB trigger resolves. I'm gaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then from BAER, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 9 treasures. I'm gonna cast Gamble. This will trigger Crom, and the Bluefarm player gets to draw a card.
Yeah, in response to Gamble, I'm going to tap my Fellwar Stone, and I would like to cast a Swan Song on it.
I have no response to that. Gamble goes to my graveyard. I'm going to use 1 treasure to dash in Ragavan from my hand. Then we're moving to combat, attacking with Dreadhorde Arcanist, and Ragavan. Dockside just came into play, so can't attack, same thing with his bird, but both creatures are going at Tymna Crom, Bluefarm, the BAER player. Now on attack trigger, I'm going to trigger this and cast Gamble from my graveyard with the Dreadhorde Arcanist. Gamble resolves. However, Gamble also goes to exile. I could find Unwool Breach here, and I could theoretically cast Gamble from the grave, except that Gamble is no longer in the grave. So getting Unwool Breach here, accidentally discarding it, is kinda sad. In other words, I don't think I want to go and find Unwool Breach. What we need to do now is to figure out another plan. We could find Dual Caster Mage. However, we have already gone to combat, so we can't really utilize Dual Caster Mage either. There's another option though. Wheel of Fortune. This is something I think the other two players could protect, because I need to refill my hand. I need, I'm down to 2 cards. Going up a little more in hand size could be good. And that would nullify some of the other players that are sitting on more cards currently than me. Another option is actually Rhystic Study. That one they might try to interact and counterspell. But on the other hand, if Rhystic Study goes to the graveyard, I can cast Narset, I can still cast Narset this turn, and try to recast Rhystic Study potentially next turn. So I think it's either like Wheel of Fortune or Rhystic Study. Now, I think I'm actually then gonna go for the Rhystic Study. So I'm finding this card and discard a card at random. Great. I discard a Rhystic Study. Happy me.
I don't believe a treasure will do much difference, but I really don't want you to get anything out from the top of my library, so I will respond before blockers, and I would like to tap this plateau for a wait and cast a Swords to Plowshares on the monkey.
I feel heavily interacted with. I have no response. I gain 2 life, and my poor monkey is sworded.
And I take 1 from Dreadhorde.
My last action for the turn is cracking 4 treasures for my commander, Narset, and Lighted, Exile. And then I pass.
Take my turn. This is one of the best games I've ever played with this deck. Pass.
Take my turn. I will tap 3, taking damage, to cast a Phyrexian Metamorph, paying 2 life for the blue. Phyrexian Metamorph will enter as a dockside, surprising no one, I hope.
This means there's a dockside ETB trigger and I need to consider my treasures. I actually don't think I need them, and I like being responsible and I like paying my taxes. I'm going to sacrifice all of them, floating white, blue, and red. No, actually, I don't think I need white. Blue, red.
Who the heck likes paying their taxes?
We are Swedish, Pontus. We are Swedish.
With my 5 treasures, I would like to move to combat. Post-combat and post-mons having mana in pool, I will pay 3 and 2 life to flip my commander. That's the wrong flip. And with my commander flipped, I will pass turn.
On your end step, I'm a little bit scared of Heliod, to be honest, and I think I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to tap my Arcane Signet, and I'm going to cast Path to Exile, targeting Heliod.
You continue being cringe. My commander's exiled.
Take my turn. In my first main phase, I'm just going to play this Spire of Industry as my land for turn. Okay. With that said, I'd like to move to my combat phase and declare Crom as an attacker, sending it to Rhetoric.
No blocks.
Excellent. With that, I'll move to my end step.
Untap and draw a card. I'm gonna go straight to combat. I'm gonna attack with the Narset and Lighted Exile, Birdie, and the Dockside can go too. Dreadhorde Arcanist can actually stay back. But everything is going at Bluefarm. Now on attack, I'm gonna prowess and try to attempt to cast Rhystic Study with my commander from the graveyard.
All right, I have a response to the Narset target of the non-creature, non-land spell. I'm going to cast Deflecting Swat, and let's just see how you're feeling, Mons. I'm going to target Swords of Plowshares.
I have no interaction against this, so it will happen. I'm going to cast the Swords to Plowshares that is in his graveyard. And here's the thing. Now, I could Spite Play and kill Thrasios or the bird, but I don't view Rhetoric as a threat. I think that the Bluefarm Crom Tumna BAER player is the biggest threat. Even though I want my Rhystic, I'm going to Swords the Crom here.
Yeah, I will not block. I can't block. I'll take the damage.
And I will pass the turn afterwards.
Draw a card for turn. Fellas, I got to land.
Congratulations. It's never too late.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am happy, but I'm still going to pass turn with 5 cards in hand.
Go to my turn. Oh, I will pay 2 mana and 1 life. And I'd like to snap my Phyrexian Metamorph. Snap resolves. I bounce my Metamorph and untap my 2 lands. Then we're gonna surprise people by recasting Metamorph, taking 2. 3. Phyrexian Metamorph will once again enter as a Dockside. Dockside resolves and makes 5 more treasures. And then we're still on the cringe train, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cast my commander. No targets for DTB, and I'll pass turn.
Perfect. I'll take my turn. That is not something I wanted to draw. Okay, let's feed more Docksides. I don't know if more Docksides are coming, but maybe they are. Who knows? I'm gonna cast Mox Diamond, hitching Bloodstained Mire. After that, I'm going to tap for 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm gonna cast Crom again for the second time. Will not move to combat. I'm gonna keep Crom up for blockers and then move to second main and end step and pass my turn.
In your end step though, I'm gonna flash in Archivist of Ogma. Just kinda wanna have it in play. And then I'm going to my turn, untap and draw a card. I'm gonna pay 2 life and cast a Gitaxian Probe targeting BAER CLAYMORE, looking at the Tymnocron Bluefarm's hand.
Okay, so we have this. This is number 2, number 3, and number 4.
I will announce that it's annoying, but there's nothing like life-threatening, but annoying. One thing though, don't let Dockside go to grave because there's a reanimate in his hand. Prowess also triggers buffing my entire team. Knowing what he has in his hand and knowing that I don't want that to happen, I'm going to swing with the team all my creatures straight at the Tymnocron player. I have now 2 attack triggers, Narset and Dreadhorde Arcanist. I'm going to resolve, announce both targets. The Dreadhorde is going to resolve first, putting Gitaxian Probe onto the stack, and Narset is going to announce and try to cast or target first and then cast Rhystic Study. Now Dreadhorde Arcanist happens immediately, so I will instantly cast Gitaxian Probe, triggering Prowess, buffing my creatures or buffing the entire team here again. Gitaxian Probe resolves, going to exile, I draw another card, and this time I actually want to look at Redric's hand because he hasn't been doing anything. Okay, that actually explains. So now I've looked at his hand, they can't hear me. That really explains his inactivity. Redric is just sitting with an enormous amount of counterspells in his hand. The solution to deal with this is I actually don't think I'm gonna combo off and win this game. I actually think, looking at the prowess power of my Narset, I might combat down these guys if it actually comes to it. Then we have the Narset exiled, trying to cast Rhystic Study. Also prowess the entire army, making everything enormous, so now nothing will actually die to Crom. Now this is also my second spell, which was the Gitaxian Probe, so Crom gets to draw a card. Rhystic Study resolves.
I think my best path to survival is blocking Narset with Crom. So I'll block with Crom, Narset, and then take 18?
Then, with Rhystic Study in play, I kinda wanna keep my mana open, so I pass the turn.
In your end step, I would like to put a Thrasios activation on the stack. Bottom that one, put a Breeding Pool into play. Tapped. Drew a card for turn. Oh, lands, where have you been this whole game? Land for turn will be Taiga.
Redric, can I ask you to attack with just Thrasios on him? I mean, he doesn't need to stay as a blocker, and I don't know if I'm attacking you next turn. I don't think so. I can if you attack with Thrasios, I promise not to attack you.
Sounds like a good deal. Fine. We will move to combat and attack BAER with Thrasios. 1 power.
Yeah, I think since it's just 1, I have no blockers and no effects.
Do what I've done best this whole game. Pass the turn.
Go to my turn. I will tap a blue for a Mystic Remora, not paying for Rhystic. Remora resolves. Then I will pay 3 mana and 3 life to flip my commander again. And then I'll pass my turn.
Then I'll take my turn and draw a card. Perfect. First things first, Morphic Pool as my land for turn. Then I will pay 1/2 with Sol Ring, 3 my Sire of Industry, and 1 blue with this one here. I would like to cast Phyrexian Metamorph. And I will be paying for Rhystic Study with this. Phyrexian Metamorph resolves, and I'd like it to enter as a copy of a Dockside.
So I actually have a funny solution to this. I kind of know what everyone has in their hand, so I know how this can be played out. I have a Lightning Bolt in my hand. This is actually why I wanted you to punch him for just one, because now Lightning Bolt is an actual interaction. We can kill him in response to the Dockside trigger. And I do know the amount of counterspells in his hand and the amount of interaction in yours, Redrick. I don't know what he drew into. He does have a Flusterstorm, so I can pay for Flusterstorm, but I think this would be worthy to kill. I'm just kind of want to hear you guys out. Are you interested in protecting this if he starts flipping more stuff?
How many cards do you have in hand, Mons?
I have 4 cards in my hand. 5 with the Lightning Bolt.
I see. Yeah, I mean, I think it's player removal. You already made a deal with me, so I assume you're going to Pontus next.
Yes, as I promised, I'm not attacking you. I'm swinging. If he dies to this Lightning Bolt, I'm swinging all out on Pontus.
Hey. What?
now he woke up.
Now you react. Now do you wanna defend
now
me?
he cares.
Maybe.
Yeah, Pontus, if he survives, actually when I think about it, I don't need to attack. I need to attack him with like 2 creatures and the rest can go at Pontus. If that's the...
I know. I don't care that much, but I guess I would protect you.
Yeah, Mons, I can support this plan. Sounds good.
So a big thing in cEDH sometimes is that if you become the biggest threat, people get scared of you and you want to bolt them, kill them and remove them. So currently the biggest threat in my perspective needs to die first. So take it as a compliment. I want to cast Lightning Bolt targeting your face in response to the Dockside ETB trigger. Cannot pay for fish.
Well, thank you for that, Bolt. I think I will try to save myself. Tap this for a blue, and I'm gonna respond to your Bolt with a Flusterstorm. And I won't be paying for Ristic or Fish.
I can actually pay for those flusters, so I pay 3 mana to, basically fluster resolves, and I pay the 3.
Nothing else to do there. It's been paid.
I'll turn on my camera because now it's my turn. I will sacrifice a treasure to cast a Merchant Scroll, not paying for Ristic.
I will draw a card.
Merchant Scroll will resolve. I'll put this Fierce Guardianship in my hand.
Because you searched, I gain a life, and I draw a card.
Still in response to Bolt, I will cast a Commander Sphere, not paying for Ristic.
I have a feeling this is going in the incorrect pathway. Me drawing cards right now means Pontus could suddenly start to cast wheels in instant speed with his ugly commander. So I am not going to draw a card with his Ristic Study trigger on the command sphere, because I pay my taxes.
Commander Sphere resolves. I will tap it, floating blue, and then sacrifice it to draw a card. Then I'll use the blue and crack a treasure to cast a Capsize buyback targeting my Phyrexian Metamorph.
Because you can't buy back cards that are countered, I'm going to respond by tapping Breeding Pool and casting Swan Song, targeting Capsize, not paying for fish or Ristic.
I will still be responsible and not draw with my Ristic Study.
In response to the Swan Song, I will Fierce Guardianship it.
All right, I'm going to tap Birds of Paradise and give you an offer you can't refuse, Pontus, targeting Capsize, not paying for fish or Ristic Study.
I am not drawing a card from this, because that could be a Wandering Archaic coming out from him. He's currently at 4. If I draw, it goes to 5, and he can cast the Wandering Archaic. Yeah, I guess.
Offer resolves. Then I'm okay with Lightning Bolt killing our friend BAER Claymore.
Well, as my last words, it was fun to see you all play over my graveyard. And now, no responses to Lightning Bolt. I'm dead.
Now that he's dead, still in the phase he was, I think it was main phase 1, I will have more effects. I will sacrifice a treasure to cast a Time Twister, not paying for a stick.
Redrick, I am unsure. So currently I can draw a card with Ristic Study. I could start drawing into my Force and Fears and free to cast blue spells. But if me drawing a card will also give him a reduction in casting cost. So he's currently reducing everything by 4. And if I draw a card, it goes up to 5, which means he could start getting Wandering Archaic. I kind of know what you have in your hand. So I'm gonna let you decide the strategy forward here.
I think it's fine for you not to draw a card.
You feel that you can interact with the guy.
You know I can.
That's
I can
true.
Try to, at least.
Okay, I will not draw a card. I will let
so-
you solve him.
Okay. I mean, I'm either dying to Pontus or to you soon, so I do have the mana to pay for it my turn currently. So why not? Pact Negation. Not paying for fish or Ristic.
Okay. In response to your Pact of Negation, I'll crack a treasure to cast a Windfall.
This game is wild. We are going to tap this making blue, cast Fluster Storm, and there's been like a billion spells cast this turn, so I'm just going to divide. It's roughly 5 to 6 per, targeting Time Twister and Windfall. Not paying for fish or Ristic Study.
So I will draw fish. Ooh, I'll respond to Ristic Study, I think, by casting a Mox Diamond. Not paying for Ristic.
I will actually draw this time a card from the Ristic Study of Mox Diamond. No response though.
Mox Diamond resolves. I will pitch a Floodstrand, and then I will tap it to cast a Words of Wisdom. So Words of Wisdom reads, you draw 2 cards, then each other player draws a card. So Mons will have a Ristic Study trigger, then draw 1, and I draw 2.
Yeah, I will draw from Ristic this time.
Words of Wisdom resolves. Okay. Still in response to the Fluster Storms, I will cast a Mox Opal, not paying for Ristic. Mox Opal resolves. I'll tap it for 1 blue, which I'll use immediately, to cast a Intellectual Offering. So Intellectual Offering resolves. And my choices will be, and since me and Mons are such good friends, I'll target Mons with both modes. Also, he has no mana available, and no mana producing permanents. Me and Mons will each untap all our non-land permanents and draw 3 cards. Then, it's actually getting a bit spicy here. I will cast Void Winnower for free, not paying for a stick. Void Winnower resolves, and I will tap 2 blue to cast a Finale of Revelation. X is 14, so I would like to draw 14 cards and shuffle in my graveyard into my library and have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. It resolves, I will shuffle in my graveyard, I will untap up to 5 lands and draw 14. Post drawing 14 cards, we're going to cast a Moonsilver Key, not paying first. I'll tap Grim Monolith, leave 2 colorless floating, and activate Moonsilver Key. I'll find and cast a Coveted Jewel, not paying for a stick. ETB, I will draw 3. I'll tap Coveted Jewel to cast a Blue Sun Zenith targeting myself. I would like to draw 15 cards.
I actually have a response to this. First drawing a card with Ristic Study, then deflecting SWAT. I can't pay for fish, but I wanna redirect this. Now this is gonna look strange, but I'm actually gonna target Rhetoric, because the guy has lands untapped, I don't. He has a higher chance of drawing into counterspells that can stop Pontus. See? I'm a team player!
I will respond to your SWAT. First I'll draw a card of fish, because I may. Then I will... let's just pact it, let's not be annoying.
I have no response. You got it.
Pact resolves, and then Blue Sun Zenith resolves. Drawing 14 more. No, 15. I will cast a Chromatic Ori, not paying for a stick. I'll cast a Gilded Lotus, not paying for a stick. I will play a very funny card, a Defense Grid, that is currently taxing each alive player.
This will be my last card that will actually have a chance to do something. Draw a card! Nah, I have no free to cast interaction versus Defense Grid or anything else.
Then, now that I'm safe, I'll tap an island to cast a Musical Tutor, putting a Capsize on top of my deck. Then I'll use a colorless because of Chromatic Ori to cast a Frantic Search to draw 2. From here, I'll tap another mana to cast a Capsize on the Ristic Study with buyback. Then I will present a loop where I cast Chromatic Ori, or cast Capsize on Chromatic Ori, tapping it for 5, then recasting Chromatic Ori for free, and doing this loop, making 3 colorless extra each time. Once I have infinite mana, I will cast a Drown in Dreams to make Mons draw 5,000 cards, and mill Rhetoric for 10,000.
My brain will melt. I'm dead.
And I'll drown in my graveyard. Good game.
To actually kill Rhetoric, I will cast a Intellectual Offering. We both draw 3 cards and untap all our non-land permanents, because we're friends. Good game!
So that was a very interesting finish that happened during BAER's turn while BAER was dead. I actually want to mention something before we begin by talking about some of the things that happened during Pontus' turn. So I had actually looked at BAER's hand and seen a Cyclonic Rift, which I don't want to happen, because I have a really cool board state. So the reason why I wanted Thrasios to smack him for 1 and have the team on the board to help me kill BAER so the Cycrift won't resolve. A very important thing here, I did not mention to Redrick that there was a Cycrift in his hand, because I was scared that Redrick might actually help BAER staying alive, because I'm just gonna guess, Redrick, you kind of want the Cycrift to maybe resolve in that position?
Yeah, I mean, I was behind, and as you saw with my hand, which is hilarious, I just had a whole suite of counterspells. I had 4 counterspells
Yes.
in my hand and a Concordant Crossroads. So I'm just sitting back, kind of just waiting for the right moment, and probably would have done, yeah, because you had a pretty big board, and I knew, Smashies was imminent, so to say.
Now, it's not lying, but it's just not telling exactly. I'm not forced to explain everything BAER has in his hand, so to say.
I guess I could have made my own case and revealed what I had in hand, and maybe that could have helped me.
That might actually be a legit action to make, honestly. That is not wrong, to just to try to change everyone's mind to say, let me survive, and I Cycrypt and save us from Mons.
Another thing that's a bit notable is the fact that you highlighted to Rhetoric that you wanted him to attack BAER made me not attack to kill him. I'm not sure if you didn't notice that, because it's me, I forget attacking. But it was a deliberate choice, because if I attack him, he will use resources on my attack instead of whatever you have planned, because obviously you have planned separately.
I took for granted that you are not going to attack him. Because I just speculate, I think about the players that I play with, and I think about what these players' normal patterns are, and you're probably not attacking. That's my speculation. So I didn't want to. I could have brought up the discussion with you during Rhetoric's turn, but I still.
I was surprised you didn't.
I don't think you would have done it anyway. That's the thing. Would you have?
I wouldn't, but you would have more info.
Yes, but I mean, I was apparently correct assessing that you weren't going to attack them, even if I asked him.
If you didn't ask Rhetoric to attack him, I probably would have.
Oh, really? Why?
Yeah, because he has counterspells in hand.
Sure.
I
Oh,
just assume. Like, he has drawn cards, he has lots of value, he's a control deck. I expect him to be able to stop me and be annoying, so I would probably kill him and try to do stuff.
Okay.
Like, I had Windfall in hand all that time, so I was just looking for a spot to cast it.
Yeah, you found it. Oh, and your deck found really key cards to go through. I mean...
my deck wanted to be shown off, and, well, it worked.
It did. I think he would have worked an hour earlier had I not countered your Sol Ring in your turn 1.
Yes, I had the turn 2 Heliod plus flip if you didn't counter Sol Ring. And Heliod plus flip, and then if you ever drew 3 cards, I had the Commander Sphere, the 3-mana sphere thing, into Windfall.
Oh my god.
Just lined up.
Yeah.
So but my starting hand was spicy.
I mean, Rhetoric was doing an amazing job actually trying to stop you. It was just that... Did you top deck that Mox Diamond?
I top decked like 4 cards that I needed during that turn. And
Yeah.
all of them was at the latest possible point. I drew a fish, nothing, then drew off the next effect, and there it was. Both times. Both Opal and Mox Diamond was like the last possible draw.
What was so tricky was sequencing what counter spells to play. So in my head, played Offer You Can't Refuse, and we sort of talked at the table that might give you some more mana. And I was holding onto that Flusterstorm because I was like, he's going to keep playing cards. If we get to this point where you've played 20 cards, maybe Flusterstorm will have a chance, but perhaps I should have played Flusterstorm earlier? I don't know. What do you think, Mons? You and I were talking a little bit about it, right?
I think you should have, because I played against Heliod a few times, and the number one is that kill Heliod, then the deck doesn't do anything. The second thing is that as long as he doesn't have any colored mana, the deck kinda still doesn't do anything. There are a few cards that actually lets him do things anyway, but those 2 mana he gains from an Offer You Can't Refuse literally means he can, as you saw, he can cast 2 wheels from them, because most of his spells are basically 1 blue mana and then just colorless mana.
Yeah.
It's like logic tells you, and most games show you that Flusterstorm is what you play last, but it's kind of adaptive to commanders. Very interesting.
Yeah, I think the key part here is to try to counterspell in a situation where if this counterspell resolves, he won't have any colored mana whatsoever. And Offer You Can't Refuse doesn't actually do that, but Flusterstorm does. But it's hard to know. I mean, if he didn't have 2 wheels on his hand, an offer would have been perfect still.
Yeah.
So it's just hard. I mean, you can't know for certain what to do in every situation. It's impossible.
That's all we have for today's game. GG's, everyone. See you in the next video.